Activism is en vogue. The British fashion magazine has dedicated its prestigious September edition to 40 activists. Mental health campaigner Adwa Aboa shares the cover with footballer and food poverty campaigner Marcus Rashford. Inside, they are joined by campaigners from across the world, with their messages immortalised in print by self-taught photographer Misan Harriman.
Misan, it's such a great achievement, but first, what do you see when you look at your cover?
I see hope because there are two young people who are at the zenith of their prospective careers. And I see empathy because they care. Marcus and Adwa really don't have to use their platform to help others. And that's because of the empathy in their hearts.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
It was the powerful images Misan took at London's Black Lives Matter protests that made the British Vogue editor Edward Enninful believe he had the vision to capture the message of Vogue's most important cover.
And it's been 104 years that Vogue's been around.
A bit of time, yeah.
And you were the first black male to shoot the cover. When you think of that achievement, knowing that your name will go down in history, how does it make you feel?
My two little daughters, hopefully, when I'm annoying them, I can just, look at this, have a look at this. No, I think it really means something to me because I know how many talented black photographers there are all over the world that have never had a chance over the last, century, and Edward has arrived, and in just 3 short years, he's repeatedly made history. He had the first black woman photographer before me in January 2019. And then he had the key workers on the cover. So, there is the winds of change are blowing, and we're never going to go back to the way things are. And, it has to be mentorship, making sure there are opportunities at every level for people that have talent that are maybe not so visible to people that have always been part of the status quo.
And when we spoke to you at the march and you were capturing the mood of the Black Lives Matter movement, you spoke about the power of photography. So what's the power in this issue?
You can't defend yourself against great art, whether it's a song, a film, or a photograph. It seeps into your soul. So this statement piece by British Vogue is quietly asking you what it means. And judging by the response that we've had already, and it hits the newsstands on Friday, tomorrow, it's a seminal moment for so many people. They know that they matter, that their voice matters, and their voice always mattered. But now, as I've said in some interviews, the door is finally ajar. I'm certainly walking through it with my hand back to pull everyone I can into this room of opportunity.
And as a photographer, you don't just capture people and their spirit, their moods and their beliefs, but also you meet them. So what was it like meeting all these amazing activists who were fighting for change?
Every single person blew my mind, from, founder of the domestic violence charity Solace to Lavinia Stennett, the founder of the Black Curriculum, and of course, Doreen Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence's mother, who I would say was the biggest deal for me personally. Just to be breathing the same air as her was something I will never forget as long as I live. And in some small way, when they saw me walk through the door, being a black man, I believe they gave me that bit more in the image.
When you started your photography at the marches, I'm sure you dreamed it would take you somewhere, but did you expect it to take you to cover of Vogue?
I didn't expect. All I wanted to do is take a time capsule of what I felt was a moment in history that none of us thought would happen. Finally, we've come together to tackle racism. And I said, you know what? Human beings can sometimes have ropey memories, right? So let me take these images so I can remind us what we can be, who we can be when we are together as one, fighting against the worst stain of modern man. I had no idea that the images would become what they have become and lead me to this magazine in front of both of us.
And when you did get that call, when they asked you if you'd be willing to shoot the cover, just how did you react?
It was a Zoom call of all things. And, Edward, in his very calm way, said, look, I feel that your lens is of this moment, and, I want your lens to seek the truth with all these activists, and would like you to shoot the September issue. And it didn't sink in. I just focused on not fainting in the call, and I went to pick my partner up from the shop, and she's like, you look like you've seen a ghost. What's wrong? And I said, I have something to tell you. And so that was when I found out over Zoom, and I hopefully played it as cool as I could.
And in terms of your own career, where does this weigh up in achievements and goals that you may have had going forward?
It wasn't even a goal because it was seemingly unattainable. My photography has and hopefully will always be trying to show the human condition in every spectrum. And it's led me to the fashion industry, and I'm very thankful for it. And I think if people like the stories that my lens tell, then I will continue to do it in as many interesting and varied ways as I possibly can.
Misan, as you flick through your work, how hard was it to shoot so many activists but make sure that each image was striking in its own right?
They're all extraordinary people to start with, and that lent a lot to making my job easy. I want to show the truth in every person that I had the opportunity to photograph. And in a small way, I feel that my lens was able to capture their essence for the rest of us to see and understand what they're fighting for.
When people look at Misan's images, he wants them to feel like there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and we should all have empathy in our hearts. Antoine Allen, ITV News.